Greetings, dear friends and family from across the world. Welcome to BWTM Sports, or as I would usually say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I leave this video to the very last moment to share my thoughts on yet another comeback. I think I spoke about this before, and I'll speak about it again. I like David Price. I really do like David Price. And I've been one that thinks he still could become world heavyweight champion. The heavyweight division is so unsure at the moment as to who really is the number one fighter in the world. On any given night, any one of the top 5 fighters could get knocked out and has as good a chance as anybody being, in my mind, one of the only genuine one-punch knockout artists in the division. I put on that same scale Deontay Wilder. I think Joshua's more of a combination puncher. Povetkin's a combination puncher. When you talk about dynamite one-punch knockout artists, combination puncher. When you look at one-punch knockout power, Dillian White, they stand out. Again, Tyson Fury, another one, combination knockout puncher. But this guy, David Price, he just gets you out of there. Yes, he's been knocked out a few times. I know you're going to remind me of that. But if you remember David Price on his way up, when he was a confident fighter, he was knocking everybody else out. And everybody was saying, well, this was the next guy who's going to be part of the Klitschko's. He was going to be the next Klitschko. He was going to be the baddest man on the planet. There were people, even Tony Bellew said that David Price would be, he's ready to fight the Klitschko's tomorrow after he knocked out either Audley Harrison or he knocked out Matt Skelton. He was the real McCoy. And Deontay Wilder finished Harrison in the first round, and so did David Price. So those are 2 big punches right there. This video isn't previewing his opponent, Sokolowski, but this preview isn't about him. It's about David Price. Now, if I take you back to when David Price lost, and he lost to Tony Thompson the first time he rushed out of the rematch. People were pushing for him to get into that rematch. He lost by Thompson again. Then he had that timeout, and then he brought Tommy Brooks in. Well-respected trainer. He's trained some of the great heavyweights. We talk about the Klitschko's. He's worked with them. He's trained with Mike Tyson. He's well-known. Tommy Brooks for training Evander Holyfield. A resume of the who's who of the heavyweight division, and is either did they have become heavyweight champion, have been undisputed champion, or have been a champion of some sort. What it takes to create a champion. He knows if you've got it or you haven't got it. Tommy Brooks, remember the name. He is by far the best trainer David Price had. Brooks told me when I interviewed him, the Price, listen, he'll give Price something to do, and then when he turns his back, Price will go and do his own thing. Doesn't really want it. Lennox Lewis echoed the same thoughts. Called him out to Canada and said, hey, you need to come and train out in Canada. Price wanted to be back in Liverpool. People said to me at the time, I was lying, talking shit. Don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, what does he do? He ends up coming closer to home with Dave Caldwell. I said, in a last chance saloon, Dave Caldwell would be the last person I would go to train me to get on a run in the heavyweight division. I said, no disrespect to Dave Caldwell. Right fit as a trainer for a guy you need to go to as a last chance saloon. There are many better trainers in the world than that. No disrespect to Dave, who are more experienced at training world champions or training heavyweight champions. Okay, the size of David Price and what David Price. Forget David Hay. David Price we're talking about here. You have to look at resume, guy for that. Okay, so you have to look at a guy who knows how to manage a heavyweight through to the heavyweight champion of the world. What about Frank Bruno? but he managed to become world heavyweight champion, WBC world heavyweight champion. Something that after all the defeats Frank had, and he had no stamina, and he couldn't do this and he couldn't do that, he still beat the man that knocked out the guy who went on to become undisputed champion, Lennox Lewis. Let's not forget those things. People do have a short memory. But there were some things that Frank went and did. He made changes. He made adjustments. And he gave Lennox Lewis hell. Lewis. Like Frank didn't get nobody walked through Frank Bruno. Not even the great Mike Tyson walked through Frank Bruno. His first fight, he did that. But that was after Frank did put up some resistance. But that's beside the point. What I'm talking about today is David Price. Just adjust this. Lovely. Right. So my point about David Price, and I really want to get this message home about David Price. In my opinion, David Price, I said he should never have gone to Dave Colwell. I said if he went to Dave Colwell, he'd get a couple of easy fights, a big fight would come, and he'd fall apart. What happened? Subsequently, before that, Colbert had plenty to say to me about how he thought I didn't like him. Look, it wasn't personal, mate. The fact of the matter is, I didn't think you up for that particular job, and it is what it is. Moving on. Price had a lot to say about Dave Colwell. Colwell had a few things to say about Price. It wasn't a good relationship, but I could see that, and Stevie Wonder could see that from the get-go. Price wanted to be more, have creature comfort, to be at home. That's not the mentality of a guy that wants to become heavyweight champion of the world. You have to make some sort of sacrifice. So Price is coming back again. In all of Price's either comebacks or his journey to becoming whatever he was becoming, British Cup champion or whatever, some fundamental things he's been doing, he needs to work on. His jab, pushing out jab, garbage, absolute garbage. Price needs to be, he's used to 6'7" or 6'8". He needs to come out and be a dominating heavyweight. He needs to come out, ram that left jab into the fighters' faces, and put that right hand in as soon as possible. Not playing around with a left jab, allowing the guys to come over the top and hit with your right hand. Your mistakes. But to me, being honest, I'm not sure if Price has learned from his mistake, because he gambled with Dave Colwell of his career. Of your life, you go with Dave Colwell. Right. So what are you going to do now? You now move from Dave Colwell to Derry Matthews. Now, no disrespect to Derry Matthews. He could end up being an all-time great trainer. Best trainer that ever lived in the UK. He could be the greatest trainer that could have ever been. But then he could be a flop. In a last chance saloon, it shows you mentality. In a last chance saloon, you're going to Derry Matthews. What do I pick up there? Derry Matthews, local lad, respected boxer or former boxer who had a good career. But there's nothing on his resume to say, hey, I've trained a world heavyweight champion. Or I've come close to training a world heavyweight champion. David Price is a project. At this point in time, David Price needs an excellent heavyweight trainer. If he wants to, he needs to have a professional trainer who's got a resume that can do the business. The best trainer he had on his resume was Tommy Brooks. Will not end well for David Price. How many heavyweights has Derry Matthews trained at elite level? Will not end well. Unless David Price changes trainers and he gets a trainer that understands the heavyweight landscape, not the middleweight or the cruiserweight or even the light heavyweight or the middle or any other divisions. The heavyweight division is a division itself. James has educated me through the years that the heavyweight division is very different to any other the weight div classes. And the way you train a heavyweight is very different to the way you train a middleweight. Different. And at a last chance saloon with Dave Colwell, I said no. You go with Derry Matthews. Again, no disrespect to Derry Matthews. He's out of Liverpool. He needs to get himself a trainer, a certified trainer who has proven it at the highest level. If he's got any sort of thoughts of really becoming something more than just a guy that's vulnerable and going to get knocked out, needs to work on his defense. He's got a fantastic, and if he could get that jab working, he'll have a good jab and a big right hand, and he can learn to hold and lay on guys, learn how to defend, learn how to fight. You know, tuck his and throw the jab. He started to show changes with Tommy Brooks. Time you need a good trainer to work with you over a number of fights and not be rushed. What is the rush, David Price? Then what is the rush for you to be in big fights? Take some good fights behind the scenes without having TV exposure and box. And learn your trade. I said this, learn your trade over 2 or 3 years when nobody sees much of what you're doing. Once you've learned your trade and you've built a good relationship with a world-class trainer, then go forth. But oh no, you went with Dave Colwell. You went for the, you know, save money. Rent a trainer. This is what it is. Rent a trainer. Need to make the sacrifices. Not prepared to leave Liverpool. Okay, you don't leave Liverpool and you don't leave the creature comforts at Liverpool. Stay in Liverpool and bring a decent trainer into your camp. A trainer who has done it and proven himself at the highest level. Yes, that's what it takes. A rent a trainer at this point in time is not good enough. You don't need a friend that's going to come in and help you out. That's done. That was the Franny Smith case. That's done. You don't need a quick fix trainer, which is Dave Colwell. You were on the right tracks with Tommy Brooks. Maybe Tommy Brooks was telling you what you didn't want to hear. And having somebody pat you on the back and say, there, David. Trenches and do the hard work. I'm sorry. If you don't want to do the hard work, then I'm sorry. You're not fit for the game of boxing. That's as true as it can be. That you've suffered, most of them your own fault. And I don't mean it by, oh, he's got a dodgy chin. Position to get hit. That's a technical thing that goes back to your trainer. What the hell were you doing coming in weighing as heavy as you was? Who advised you to do that? Gave you the counter coming so heavy against Christian Hammer? Had you been lighter, could you have beaten Christian Hammer? We'll never know. Hammer out that night, where would your career be today? Christian Hammer now is going to be fighting Povetkin. That could have been you. And if Michael Hook could have wobbled Povetkin, you surely have got a chance at that big right hand. You didn't want to do that. You didn't want to do that. Rent a trainer, brought him in. Again, no disrespect to Dave Colwell, but it is what it is. So if you're not going to invest in yourself, David, a trainer that's going to take you there. I mean, you may get past Sokolowski tonight. But if you don't, again, it's your own fault because you've not made the investments. I expect a man of your punching power and ability to get rid of Sokolowski and show that you're a class above the guys who didn't stop him. Actually, because that's how much I rate your punching power. But when I talk about you, I just don't know how much you got left. I don't know if you've recovered from the knockout from the Tony Thompson fight. I don't know if you've recovered from the Tepper fight. I don't know if you got the crap beaten out of you when you fought Hammer. You know, have you learned the lessons? What are the lessons you've learned? Has it just been, oh, it was a bad night? What lessons have you learned? If you're making the same mistakes over and over again, corrected. So again, this is not me digging David Price out. It's quite the opposite. Saying, look, as somebody who likes you, I don't want to see you get hurt, mate. And I don't want to see the same things happen over and over again. I actually believe you can become world heavyweight champion when a lot of people doubt you. But for you to become world heavyweight champion, you need to be carefully matched and managed. When I say that, carefully matched and managed, any fighter in the world today, even the best fighters in the world, are not, I wouldn't say picking and choosing, but they are wary of what's out there. They're not running to fight this person, running to fight that person. And anyone who does end up doing that, the careers are shortened. Making smart business decisions and still being in good fights, and then making poor business decisions, and then yourself end up being on the canvas, and your fan base dwindling away. You know, people can only have faith for so much. If you keep on making mistakes and not making a commitment, then maybe I'll see something tonight. Maybe I'll see something tonight, David, that maybe Gary Matthews is the right guy for you. I doubt it, though, because again, it goes back to resume. But these are my thoughts, and you know, let me just check my camera here. Thoughts for you guys. Say again, if you're wondering why I'm looking straight, sometimes looking up, it's because I'm doing this on the big screen. On my main camera on my laptop's not working at the moment, so I'm looking at my big screen, and then I'm looking at the camera. So let me just see what people are saying. I've said my piece. Lots to say. Okay. Good evening, Mike. He says, if Sokolowski is able to push Price back and bully him on the ropes, then Price is in the world of turf. ID. Come on, Sokolowski. Oh, dear. Mikey, says Peter Powell. What a shame Price has gone with an inept, inexperienced trainer with Gary Matthews, even if he wins tonight. I agree. I totally agree. Adam Nichols says, want Price to take care of business and show good display. Hey, I do too, mate. I'm with you on that. Price needs to get rid of that pathetic jab he has. Dangles the ear, has no power and construction behind it. He needs a fast, accurate position. Ramrod jab, then power shots will follow. I totally agree with you there. Gorguja says, it's make or break with Price tonight. Again, he better take care of the glass chin or it will be a clear career ended tonight. Yes, it will. It's hilarious how England got laughed at for doubting the Coldwell-Price relationship. Well, look what happened. The cracks came out after the Hamer fight. Well, I said it. I did say it. Mr. Skeptica, Sokolowski, whatever his name is a good boxer, believe me. Yes, he is. Dangerous. He times the overhand right well. He's beaten several prospects. Yes. If Price gets knocked out again, I think it's time for him to retire. No, it's not time for him to retire. Well, it's time for Price to retire. Price should have retired a long time ago when he's sort of like rent-a trainer, taking shortcuts. From he definitely will. It's make or break for Price. Judgment Day. And Sokolowski is make or break time for David Price. Here's the same problem. People's expectation of David Price has gone so low that David Price is fighting Sokolowski after he knocked out Matt Skelton. To me, Sokolowski, you're having a laugh, mate. Times have changed. You would have told me Sokolowski was a bum. Now Sokolowski is a dangerous guy. See how times have changed? The person to blame for that is David Price. He, at the end of the day, chooses who his trainer should be, and he, at the end of the day, has turned around and made decisions which I think have been piss poor. Price lost to Christian Hammer. His career is over, so skeptical. Mikey says, we're telling you it will go disastrous. Derry will get embarrassed as trainer when Price gets knocked out. Mikey continues, Price needs to go overseas where he can leave the comfort zone, get proper mentors and great sparring. It is possible with his attributes, but he just isn't making the right choices. Agree. Like 5 fights in 10 months, quick fire opposition, build relationships, implement what you've done in training in the ring. I agree. When Booth tweeted out the photo of Price lifting his knee up to his waist as a defense move when he was going to get hit to the body. Mike is terrible. Then Price left Booth about a month later. Correct. Well, rent a trainer, Derry Matthews. He really left fitness first to leave to go to Derry Matthews. Price has no defense instincts. He freezes. When he gets pressured, he leans over his head sticking out. It's a satire. If he learned how to ride shots, hold the shot, he'd do much better. Well, look, something. So if Bruno can do it, Price can do it too. He needs to work on his foot positioning and how to take the sting out of shots. Mikey said the blueprint is already there to beat Price, and it's been there for years. And it's still there because he's failed to make the necessary changes. I agree. Lost on his mental state. Maybe it was that also. Yeah, it was his mental state. It should never have been with you in the first place. That also, but he let him get into the ring in a physical mess. Gets hurt easy. So when he freezes, it's because he's stunned by a punch. Some of the time, it's true. His defense was bad. Price said the camp for the Heyman was dreadful, yet he got in the ring. Why? Good point. Go Goodyear. He set himself up for a fall in that one, if that's the case. Quite literally for fall. Michaels, he says, most of Price wins have been short fights. He still thinks he's in the Olympics, 3-round fights. Go Goodyear, he should never have taken that Thompson rematch straight away. Terrible decision. That was a Frank Maloney decision to take the rematch with Thompson. Price didn't really want to be in it. Maloney. Steve Bunce said it was a fruit punch and said that he should go and take the rematch. Oh, it's only a fruit punch. It's only a fruit punch by Tony Thompson. Thompson had to come back and kick his ass again. Imagine Peter Fury trained Price. Jesus Christ. Peter would fire him if he used his leg for a defensive move. Listen, it's going to happen. He had his chance to go with Peter Fury. Not going to happen. Mentality. I don't think he'd last in a Fury camp. In all due respect, Price would not last in a Fury camp. He wouldn't. He wouldn't. Very special type of individual that goes through a Fury camp and survives it, and then goes on to be world heavyweight champion. So forget that's not going to happen. But David Price, you know who would even be a good trainer for David Price? I keep on saying it, and I keep on saying Don Charles. And I'll explain why I say Don Charles. Don Charles isn't just a trainer, he's a mentor. Difference. Guys who just hold the pads up and watch you spar, and then they go home and you go home. Don Charles wears his heart on his sleeve, and he protects his fighter. Fight you. He'll fight you. When David Haye was fighting Chisora, he was ready to get up and fight David Haye. If you remember that, and lost a tooth in the process of it. He is, for me, one of the very few trainers we've got left in the world today that's a mentor and a trainer. Frank Buglioni did a fantastic thing going with Don Charles. Say what you want about Frank Buglioni. He's growing in confidence, and Don Charles and him are building a great relationship. I'm not saying that Frank Buglioni is going to become the next champion. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is trainer and fighter are building the relationship necessary to move forward. And Price hasn't had that stability. So he's not had that stability as a trainer. And he needs a trainer that's going to believe him. Bashir is not a good fit for David Price. And there's no comeback for Bashir because James Ali Bashir said it a number of times. So Bashir and him, that relationship is forget it, not going to happen. I mean, I just can't see it because knowing Bashir as long as I've known him, I can't see Bashir taking a complete U-turn and then working with Price. So Bashir would have been a good trainer for Price. Tony Thompson lost. That's when he would be a good trainer for him, but not now. But it would be, good evening, Gazzo. It would be a great camp for him to be in now, actually. He could train with Ruhan Vissa, and he could train with Serenko. Those would be two great guys to train with, locked away. Great sparring. So I said years ago, if you remember rightly me saying this, remember my words, David Price needs to leave the UK and go to Germany or go to Ukraine or go wherever the Klitschko is and train with the Klitschkos. I said it. You're talking shit. You should go with that Adam Booth. I was like, no. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to go back to that video I did about Dave Colwell and to see what people were saying back then and see what they're going to say now. I just hope, I pray that this next poor move that David Price has made doesn't lead to him getting seriously hurt or embarrassed. And if Sokolowski puts it to him tonight, who will he employ next? He's employed. He went to Colwell. Now he's got renter trainer Derry Matthews. I'm just waiting who the next trainer will be, because it's not uphill from there. It's all downhill. Waiting to hear from David Price, his next comeback being who works at Fitness First. I'm not joking. Fitness First. Literally a guy from Fitness First and say, this is the guy that's going to take me to the World Heavyweight title. You think I'm joking? Oh yeah, or Charlie Zelenoff. Forget them guys. Just hire me, David. Hire me to train you. For flip's sake. We'll get a YouTuber to train you. For flips, we'll get Mark Demori to train you. There you go. Went to Colwell is because Bellew was there. I could just imagine what went on there to train with his mate, and Bellew put his word in. Well, that was going to end. Well, this was Bellew who said he was ready to go and fight Klitschko tomorrow. Oh my God. Price and Sims were a good fit. No. Price needs a guy who's a straight talker. Peter would be savage with Price, I think. Too savage. But he'd make him into a Trojan fighter afterwards. And you notice how Tyson Fury, as much as everything about David Price, Fury always says, which a lot of people are not taking into consideration, Price. And that makes him very, very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. And that, Sokolowski, I wish well tonight, but he's going to get hit harder than any of the heavyweights I've hit before. I hope David's in good shape. I really do. Price went to the Klitschko's. Would he last? Mentally, is he shot? Well, remember, back in the day, he was getting beat up by Kubrat Pulev in sparring. I heard the sparring session, Kubrat Pulev was beating him up real bad in sparring. That's what I heard. And that was back in the day. That was when Price was actually unbeaten and flying for the ranks. I don't know. I don't know how it would have done. So James Elbashir or Jonathan Banks at the Klitschko camp should train him. Not now. Not now. Not good. I'm talking about when he lost that first fight. When he lost that first fight to Tony Thompson, that's when he should have got into camp. Are you going to do live commentary for the fight? I don't, Mikey. I'm iffing. I'm in two minds about it. I'm in two minds about it. Because it's on YouTube, isn't it? And it's on YouTube, and my things on YouTube as well. So I don't know how I'll do it. I'll probably have to have two laptops or something for it to happen, or have my mobile phone and watch it at the same time. I don't know yet. I don't know. It's going to be difficult for me to do because the live show is via YouTube and green watching YouTube. So maybe I could stick two browsers up and see if it will work that. I've seen the interview Price where he said he was not looking at a world title fight, more British level. God. David Price has never fought for a world title, has he? If something's got me wrong here, he's never fought for a world title. You fought as an amateur, you fought in the Olympics, you fought for the British title, you won the British title, and you don't want to be a world champion. And now you say you just want to fight for a British title. The more I just want to cover my face, find a blanket, and roll under it. In fact, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. I mean, this you think I like David Price, but the shit I'm hearing, I don't like it. Price is literally on the last crack of the whip. It's going to be interesting. A point of debate afterwards. Has Price made adjustments, or will he get knocked out? Well, Gasol said the damage has already been done. I think it's an uphill battle to find someone who can reverse the bad habits for Price. You may have a point there, Gasol. You may have a point there. News for Sunderland. I heard told me he's fighting for era title in 2008. I heard that too. I did hear that. Goguchi says he hope he pulls it off tonight, but you never know with Price. That's my point. You just don't know. If you can't get rid of that guy though, I'm sorry, you finished. You are finished. You know it's Derry Matthews telling Price how prestigious the British title is, which is true. But if that's your major aim, then time to go. Look at his trainer. What expectations? No disrespect to Derry Matthews. What does he know about being undisputed champion or being a world champion, a genuine world champion? What does he know about that? So what the hell is Derry Matthews telling David Price? At least David Price has been British champion and he's got Olympic silver or bronze medalist. Oh, what? Or world champion? I don't know which way it was. It was Olympic something. If British title is motivation, it will work for him. Then that's fair enough. Whatever floats your boat and all that. This guy's never fought for a world title. Oh my god, accepting it. It will be just see if Price wins over 6 rounds, but looks average. If he gets the win, but it's slow and make no changes. I expect Price to knock Sokolowski out. I'm gonna actually go and say I expect David Price to knock out Sokolowski and show that he is a dangerous heavyweight puncher out there. Evening, everyone. It will be interesting to see how Pricey gets on later. Mr. Tyson View says it's going to be a tough fight for Pricey, and he knows his stuff. Do you know Ingram or anyone has Tyson Fury? Has T Fury Sokolowski? I don't know. I'm sure what you're saying there, mate. But yeah, he did say that when Fury looked when Coogan told Fury, yeah, he's fighting Sokolowski. Tyson went, really? That means to me that, well, you've had no warm-ups, and you're fighting Sokolowski, who's a decent fighter, got a good chin, you know, but still, okay. So Price is doing that then. If Price is best, he should knock Sokolowski out. He has the power to do it, but it's a question of if. I'm gonna try and say that. I see Sokolowski taking 6 rounds. Now Sokolowski, if I'm right, Sokolowski took Lade after the first fight. And then I remember Sokolowski versus Conchian. He looks a game fighter. Be interested to see how the game plan turns out. Sean Turner was telling I got beaten with Sokolowski. Yes, but Sean Turner doesn't carry. Sean Turner and Sean Turner and Akinlade and Conchian don't punch anywhere near as hard as Price. Price hits tremendously hard. If there's one man to test that chin, it's David Price. It was the WBA interim world champion, one of the most prestigious belts back in the day in recent history. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Interim. I think he's lowered his expectation at this point. He probably wants to get a British belt, so he knows himself he's still good to get it. Because he's chinned Sam Sexton already. He's chinned Sam Sexton already, so he can just go back and chin Sam Sexton again. That's all that is. Sam Sexton's British champion. He's chinned Sam Sexton already, so why would he not think the British title was something he could get hold of? Well, listen, if you can't beat Sokolowski, why is he going after Sam Sexton? Well, Derry has already said they're working on Price to be a switcher. What? There's a lot of holding my head in my hands because I can't believe the garbage has been said. Well, if all you guys rate Sokolowski, then if Price knocks him out, there should be no complaints tonight, then, should there? If Price gets stopped by Sokolowski tonight, then oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, it's not great. You don't need to change Price's style, just make adjustments. Yeah. One of the ways to make those adjustments is to make him be the guy going forward throwing punches. Get the jab in the guy's face and get that right hand off. Anytime you can get it off, get it off. When you get a guy close, tie up. Learn to throw the uppercut on the inside. This is 55-45 in Price's favour. Yeah. Well, 70-30 to Price because that right hand, I'm telling you, Price is a phenomenal puncher. So 70-30 for David Price. And if he wins, it's a good win. And I'm going to be there. I'll be the first to say, Price, well done. Kowalski, you're going to hear, well, he knocked out a guy that lost about 12 fights. Okay? So Price really is a no-win situation there. If you're serious about Price, then people talk about him fighting Dave. Remember, they were trying to talk about Price fighting Derek Chisora. Allen. I can imagine Price getting pushed back, bent over, fall backwards over the ropes. He better not. He better not. He better get that jab out there early and hit Sokolowski with that right hand. So those are my thoughts on it. Great to hear that Josh Sandler's got an area title fight in 2018. Sokolowski, I'll give him a huge amount of credit. Only fair. I think Sokolowski is a decent British level fighter from what I've seen. If Price wins, it's a decent win for him. With Price and Tyson for the MTK, are they working towards a Price Fury fight in the summer? Wow, I'll tell you something. That's not a fight Fury in. I didn't want to see Fury fight Price then. Fury fight Price now. I really don't. I really don't. It's one of them fights I've never been comfortable seeing Tyson Fury fight. Been fighting Klitschko. I'm not comfortable with fighting Price. Don't ask me why. Comfortable with that fight. Never, ever. And don't ask me why that is. Sokolowski might change his name to Stopper Pricing tonight. Sokolowski has wins at English-British level, so it's a great opponent for Price, but also very dangerous. Price. Destroy. Who has Tyson Fury really destroyed? He's beat, but destroyed? That's a different situation there. Destroy? I don't know. He didn't destroy Steve Cunningham. He didn't destroy Joey Abel. He beat them. He didn't destroy them. I mean, Fury's good. You know, we've got to remember where Fury was at. He didn't destroy Derek Chisora. He beat Derek Chisora. I don't know, 30. I don't know how his price is now. God, tell me box record. There's the power to destroy Price. I look at Price chin. I can see it being over in 4 rounds. Yeah, but Price. Listen, if it's a shootout, I wouldn't want to see that fight. Price is just enough, has just enough clout. One last retirement payday. I know. I still don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see that fight. I really don't. Anyway, I think I've said my point. I'm going to go 70-30 in favor of David Price. Had a good training camp and hope that, you know, he comes out and puts on a performance, and Derry Matthews and him have actually sat down and studied it. All those guys have better chins. Price, better in generalship, know how to hold a shot. Possibly. That's true. But hey. Right. I think I've said my piece. I think the fight's on. I don't know what time it's on. So enjoy the fight. I shall be back later to have a I don't even know what time the fight starts. But I'll be back later to talk about the post-fight of Price versus Sokolowski. Miguel Cotto fights tonight, and I'm really not interested. I love Miguel Cotto, but I'm just not interested. So we'll see. We'll see. Yes, so I will tune in 15 minutes. All right. Well, watch out for my mate Luke Watkin. Luke Watkin. Isn't Luke Watkin trained by Paddy Fitzpatrick? I could be wrong there. And he's a cruiserweight or light heavy. Yeah, he's the cruiserweight Commonwealth champion. I've seen a bit of him. Yeah, okay, no problems. I will definitely look out for him. Shout out to Luke Watkins tonight. I'll definitely keep my eye out on you, Luke. I have kept my eye out on you before. So yeah, I did know who you were talking about. See, so I've had my eye out on him. What? Arsenal 0, Man United 2. Oh dear. Taking deep breath. Not gonna rage. Not getting upset. Hey, so this is a short stream. Any guests tonight on tonight? Not tonight, mate. Well, we're trying to get somebody on tomorrow. Actually, we're trying to get the Bo Bland versus Eugene for Rigondeaux versus Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko. So if Price gets knocked out, the debate will be intense. Yeah, it will be. Right, I'm out of here. I'm not even going there. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a couple of people on tomorrow night. So I'll see you guys later. Good luck, Pricey. Wish you all the best, mate. Score that knockout tonight, Pricey, and show these people why you still are one of the biggest punches in heavyweight boxing. If Price gets knocked down, he gets up, epic, and knocks Sokolowski out. Probably not going to happen, but hey, as later. Take care.